Should you bulk or should you cut? Now, for some people, the answer is extremely simple, and for others, it can lie somewhere in the middle. For somebody who's extremely skinny, it is very obvious they should bulk, and for somebody who's obese or very much on the overweight side, you should obviously cut. But if you're somewhere in the middle, right? If you're somebody who's skinny fat, who has skinny arms, skinny legs, but he has chest, as in like man tits, or he has a stomach that's bulging out, he has love handles, his back is like very soft, you know, full of fat, right? You're gonna ask yourself, do I cut to remove it, right? Or should I bulk? Now think about it like this. When you look at yourself in the mirror, right? Do you push out of your initial frame by body fat? What I mean, if you stood like this straight up, does the fat push out of your frame, out of your skeleton frame? Is your fat wider than your shoulders? If so, then you're probably gonna need to cut for a bit. But if not, if you stood straight upright, feet, same area as your shoulders, same placement, and you had no fat bulging out, you just had a stomach a bit forward, some, what's it called, man boobs, a bit of love handles, then you're probably gonna need to cut. Now, how to pursue a cut, how to pursue a bulk rationally. When you're cutting, you wanna go 300 calories, 400 calories below your maintenance max, right? You wanna avoid all sugars and increase your water intake. Very simple, right? Cutting is a very simple process. Of course, you can't cut out all sugars because we're all addicted to sugar, right? Even me. But you can avoid sugars to your greatest extent. So what I mean is, instead of getting a full sugar ketchup bottle, because ketchup and barbecue sauce are full of sugar, try getting the low sugar option, right? Which might not be lower calories per se sometimes, but it is lower sugar, right? More calories doesn't mean unhealthier. A steak is full of calories, but doesn't mean a steak is unhealthy. In that sense. Another way is to increase fibers, increase high quality proteins, not low quality proteins. Beans and all that stuff is still good as a good source of protein, but it is, when compared to beef and chicken, fish, all those different types of actual animal protein, then it's like push it to the side. It's not even worth talking about. And in another case, now we're talking about bulking, right? When you want to bulk, it can differ, right? Some people pursue the idea of unhealthy bulking. Unhealthy bulking will never get you anywhere. It will never get you anywhere. You're gonna go from one point to another point, but you're not gonna be moving forward, you're just moving laterally. Think about it like this. If you're somebody who's extremely skinny and you ultra bulk for 6 months, you just became somebody with some muscle and he's fat. There's no point to it, right? You just got fat again, you're gonna have to cut. And then you're gonna lose some of your muscle, you might bulk again. It's a repetitive process, right? Ideally, you're gonna be able to maintain a healthy bulk. What I mean by that is 300 to 400 calories above your maintenance. As in, increase your proteins by a lot, increase your fats, your healthy fats, increase your your complex carbs. And in that process, when you go above your maintenance by adding all these, like a small amount more of food in a day, right? Just a small amount more of food, you're gonna see that you're increasing in muscle, but you're also increasing in size, like proportionally, you know, in a proportional, decent sense. You're not increasing in so much fat. Like it's such a large increase of fat. You don't want that. You don't want to be constantly increasing in fat. It's gonna make you look unaesthetic, or it's gonna make you bulge out too much. Now, how to calculate your maintenance? You can go use any of the sites. There's no problem. Most people just use the site. But if you want to be very detailed with it, take a baseline for what you think your weight is, right? If you're somebody who's fat, take 3,000 calories a week, right? If you're somebody who's skinny, take about 1,800, 2,000. If you're somebody in the middle, take about 2,400, 2,500. Take that as your maintenance, right? Hold it right there. And then for a week, try to maintain that exact amount. Even if you're not hungry, try to eat to that amount. Or if you, if you're starving, try to maintain to that amount. If you realize that, okay, this week I've lost weight, that means your maintenance is too low. So try increasing it a bit more and test out for another week. If you've gained weight by the end of the week, decrease your maintenance and try for another week. This process should take maximum 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, you should have an idea of the range of your maintenance. When you get the range of your maintenance, then you can proceed to think, okay, I should bulk here, cut here, do this, add this. And of course, throughout this whole process, right, do not forget to work out. Of course, working out is going to burn 200, 300, 400 calories. So if you wish, or if you wish not to, include for that, include for that in your calculations, then you cannot. But yet again, there are most online calculators will do the job for you. Give them your height, your weight, how often you work out, and should be good enough, decent enough anyway, right? Of course, there's the third final option, which is main gaining, but that won't happen until you're much further down the line, where at that point you put on the muscle, but you don't feel like cutting again, you don't feel like bulking. You can just main gain for 2 to 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever you feel like. And that time you can still add strength, you can still add muscle. That's what I'm doing right now. Right now I'm just main gaining. Main gaining is sticking around your maintenance, but making sure that your protein is high enough and making sure your fats are healthy with complex carbs. Just like bulking, but slightly lower, right? So let's say my maintenance is 3,500. Instead of bulking again to 3,800, maybe 4,000, I can just relax at 3,500, 3,400, just in that range, and chill like that for 3-4 months, keep my protein intake very high, and it should, realistically, it should stay the same weight, but increase muscle, increase strength, increase tendon strength, increase your experience in the gym. So this is how we go about it in conclusion, right? Look in the mirror. Does your fat bulge out from all sides? If not, cut. If not, bulk. If so, cut. After a couple months, begin to main gain your weight. During those months of bulk/cutting, if you want to, you can calculate your maintenance using a site or using real life practice, and then from then on, implement your own diet, reduce sugars wherever you can, even if you're bulking or cutting, increase your healthy fats, increase your complex carbs, and heavily increase your protein. This all in all should sum it up. Now for a comfort challenge for somebody who's trying to bulk or cut, if you know you're somebody who needs to cut, then proceed to go on a 200 calorie deficit per day diet, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you include the working out and the walking and all that stuff, it should be a small start, right? And then from then on, you decrease by another 300, and then from then on, you decrease and decrease, right? Don't forget that your maintenance guys are going to shift as you decrease weight, because somebody who's much fatter requires a higher maintenance than somebody who's much skinnier. Now again, the comfort challenge, if you're bulking, try to increase your daily calories by about 100, 200. That should do, right, for the first week. And then afterwards, after you plateau in weight, try to increase it again and try to hit your goal weight and try to main gain that for like a month or two, and then you can proceed to cut again. And if you're somebody who's main gaining, then you already know what to do. You've already been experienced enough. Should be good enough at least. Take care.